On this episode of FR Racing's Garage Talk, we have a major shakeup in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs.
Indy Racing World Series had its season finale at Indianapolis, and well, I have a Malört face.
I'm sure you're shocked with how short this episode is compared to usual, but let's get right into it right now. Welcome to an all-new episode of FR Racing's Garage Talk. I'm DJ Flook.
I'm Erik Richardson.
And Erik, we got to go right into it. We had the season finale of the Indy Racing World Series, which is usually your bread and butter. And this season, really, I think, in your opinion, is probably the more just slipped on butter than anything.
Yeah, I mean, I probably shouldn't be complaining. I finished fourth in the standings, and overall had a solid run most races.
You're capable of so much more.
Yeah, it's weird. I didn't win a race this season, but it's not me just speeding on pit road basically every single race. We have a great group of drivers.
Yeah,
that are just good.
Very good quality.
You got to bring it, and if you make one mistake, you're moving down the line. There's no room for error.
I brought this friend to the show a couple weeks ago, and Erik decided it's his turn to bring a friend to the show. Who's your friend?
Are you talking about Jeppson's?
Oh, it looks like you need to restock.
I have a brand new bottle, and I also have one of the mini bottles in the cabinet.
Like I tell people, I keep two bottles. I have my personal bottle that sometimes I drink straight from because I'm sick and demented like that. And I have the community bottle that everyone else uses when they come over, and I offer our guests a shot of
Malört. I have my resupply, and then I have my emergency travel bottle.
There's a reason why I don't get a lot of guests at my home, because I offer everybody Malört when they come in. It's nice because I don't like having people come over. So if they know they're not coming over because I offer them Malört, more power to me.
I don't know why people don't like it.
Well, let's see. When was the last time you had a shot of Malört?
It's been a little while. We got to see your Malört face.
We did.
Let's see mine.
Let's see yours. Go for it.
My shot glass. Okay.
You are desperately trying. Yeah, you are desperately trying not to make a face. I can just tell.
It doesn't help. My tired eyes are watering.
We recorded the show. You obviously we're not live, but we normally record the show Wednesday after Wednesday Night Dash. But this week we recorded Tuesday because of the finale of the Indy Racing World Series, and we'll talk about that. But we wanted to talk about NASCAR because I love the change to the Roval, but the races itself, well, the Xfinity race was good. I mean, we'll get into that, but
yeah, I didn't get to miss that. You see, I'm doing something.
Oh, you're going for round two? Man, you're either crazy or brave.
Maybe both.
I have to mentally prepare myself, and one's enough.
Not as much as last time.
No, it's like a half shot. 1.5.
Yeah,
So the Roval, you didn't catch the Xfinity race this weekend, did you?
I did not. I did not get to see Xfinity. I know it was kind of wild, but I did not see it.
I feel absolutely gutted for Parker Kligerman because NASCAR created a controversy that they didn't need to. The call was correct, but why did they wait so long? And to wrap these up, Parker Kligerman takes the lead with 10 to go. Hasn't won an Xfinity race. He's retiring from full-time driving after the season. Great guy. And just, he's coming around. He's holding off Sam Mayer, who needs to win to get into the next round. Parker needs to win to get into the next round. So he's just laying it out there. And I believe it was Leland Honeyman, he cut a tire and just blasted himself right into a wall of tires, and his car actually went under the tires, and he just buried himself in there.
It's fun what NASCAR says. Well, it was in a spot of the track that we couldn't see very well. So
it's
we didn't know about it.
NBC cut to it. It's like, oh crap. And it's like, they cut to it, and he's coming through. There's on the oval. I'm pretty sure he was on the oval by that point when they cut to the crash. And it's like, the caution is coming, but
Throw it. Just
it
throw
wasn't.
it.
It wasn't coming. And you hear on Parker's radio, go, get to the white flag, get to the white flag, get to the white flag. Gets to the white flag, caution comes out. Parker,
Literally a foot
yeah,
before the
he
line.
thought he won. He thought he won the race. His crew thought they won the race. NASCAR comes back and says that the caution came out, or the light turned on a foot from the start finish line. They claim the timing loop that they based the caution off was when he's back in the chicane going up to the white flag. So it's like, why did you manufacture a controversy here? Like, yes, we get the caution needed to be thrown. And it's like, okay, yeah, Parker needed to, okay, reset, get back in line. But like mentally, you got a guy who's driving around thinking, okay, I think I might have won this. I think I may have gotten to the car, or to the white flag, and then find out he didn't. And then he had I don't know if it was a tire, or he had some kind of damage, and he slid back, and I think he finished fifth. And Sam Mayer ends up coming back and winning the race. And
You start to cool down hot tires and fluid levels in the car. There's all sorts of stuff that can
yeah,
go on in there.
so he gets out of the they parks it. He's sitting there watching Sam Mayer do his burnouts. You got the crews taking there. All the press are running over to him when they have a chance, and the drivers are over there like you could just see the disappointment on his face, where he just like you had a win, or you thought you had your first win, but it moved you on in the playoffs, and then you didn't. And then,
Yeah, when
you
you
had to
have the
reset, and
drivers
it
coming
just,
up, like pat him on the shoulder and stuff, that says a lot.
it just, well, and it says a lot too about how, well liked he is as a driver in the garage. And just, he handled it with a lot more class than I would have. I probably would have snapped if I would have been in his position, but he didn't. I mean, I'm sure he was pretty upset on the inside. I mean, you could tell by the statement he was upset, but
Yeah, I'm sure it
he.
would have ended up for me being one of those. You need to be at your press conference. I'm here so I don't get fined at this point.
But yeah, it's rough. Like he's like, I laid it out. He put out a big statement on social media, and he's like, I had to give more than my best, and I did, and I'm proud of that. And just unfortunately, it just didn't work out in the end. And my statement would have been, why did you let me think I won that race for 2 minutes before you
Yeah,
came and
why
told
did
me that I
you
didn't?
not get on the radio right away and say, "Hey, caution was out. We white flag flew, but
And what do
caution
you?
was out."
It's like, what do you mean you did? Like, I want to know what race control sees. Like, NBC was on it like that, and I mean, there was a good, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds
Yeah, do they
after
not
the
have
camera cut.
TVs showing all the turns? Is it just them up in a booth
With a pair of
watching?
binoculars, like what the heck? Like,
Are you that old school?
I just, I'm just gutted for him. But just the show of support he got just says a lot. And
NASCAR is not helping itself
no,
at all this season.
like that, this did not need to become a controversy.
It's
If you
like
would
they
have,
can't go a weekend and not create a controversy.
it's like, okay, so he would have been back in turn four. They throw the flag. Okay, fine. He didn't make it. Life goes on. Sucks, but life goes on. But it's just to leave him hanging like that. Just, oh God.
It's almost like, okay, he's coming around, it's getting close. Wait for it. Wait for it. He's almost there. Push the button. Almost has that like vibe to it. Now, we're not the officials. We don't know their full process, but yeah, it's a shame.
Well, Sunday came around, and Kyle Larson dominated. That's basically it.
So he
Uh,
didn't lead the percentage that he did at Bristol, but was
no,
this just as dominant?
I mean, this is a tough place. I mean, Bristol's tough. They're tough in different ways, but I do like the change to turn seven with that
Yeah.
hairpin before. That led to some really cool moves, and it's like that's where
A lot
Sam
of dumb
Mayer.
moves too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Austin Dillon eating it, and I mean the Cup race. The big story was even year Joey Logano gets eliminated. Oh, wait, no, he doesn't. Just kidding. Alex Bowman failed post race inspection because his car was too light
by
and
17 pounds.
at least 17 pounds. Like they give him a plus or minus like 17 pounds kind of limit. And um, Hendrick didn't appeal. So Logano, who thought he was done, then hears, oh, no, just kidding. And you're in, but they might appeal. So maybe you're not in. And
I did hear Jeff Gordon put out a statement of why they weren't going to appeal, but I haven't looked at it yet.
yeah, they just problem is too if you get there. Yeah, there were several people talking about this, but it's like the problem is if you appeal, it's like what else are you going to uncover that? Oh, did they violate some safety protocol or something, and then it turns into a suspension and fines and owners points and
Yeah, I'd like to know
yeah.
what changed between the pre-race weigh-in on Saturday and post-race weigh-in on Sunday.
The Reddit detectives are saying that he hit Michael McDowell and a part broke off his car, but is that really 17 pounds that broke off his car?
And
I don't know.
and if you go with that plus minus, and maybe it only took 1 pound to go over, they give him an allowance. And they're saying no pieces came off when he basically got airborne over the curbing.
I don't know. I mean, it's just it's an interesting process. I mean, NASCAR was pretty transparent about the process. They didn't specifically say what the problem was, but they said that we let them like refuel and flush the liquid, the refill the liquid, the water and liquids in there, and top
Yeah,
that
they
off
gave
and
him
let
a
them
chance.
reweigh, and they still were short.
Yeah,
So
it'd be fun to know exactly what it was.
so even year Logano is still alive. And they asked him for a statement. He's like, "Yeah, you know what? Off to just can't get too excited. Just we lucked out here and off to the next race."
Yeah, before to go, next tracks suit Danny Hamlin pretty well.
Yeah, he was not good the last few weeks. He's been generally not very good in the playoffs too. Now watch him win it all this year after just kind of going through the motions and saying he was what was his quote the other week about mentally exhausted or something like that or
Yeah, something. He's got to be tired too. He's tied up in a lawsuit right now.
yeah, but you've got the backing of Air Jordan behind you on that. So
Yes.
it's not like Hamlin's fighting this battle alone.
No.
He's got a brand arguably bigger than NASCAR behind him. I don't think it's an argument. The Jordan brand is bigger than NASCAR.
Oh, by far. Yeah, it's still gonna be fun to see how that goes.
I forget they publish the number of how much Jordan gets from Nike for royalties every year, and it's an absurd amount of
At
money.
least a few years ago, it was more than the entire NBA like active rosters combined.
Yeah, it's just I gotta look.
Which you got to think LeBron and Steph and Giannis, they all have their own brands, and he's out earning them combined.
In 2022, Michael Jordan reportedly received $256 million from his licensing deal with Nike.
Yeah.
Not a bad chunk of change.
No, that's why he can invest in a race car team.
Yeah.
He's still making money on it.
And that's just Nike. Like I'm sure he's still making money with Gatorade and
Oh, I'm sure.
McDonald's and uh what else is it? Wheaties.
Well, they have the McDonald's cars a lot.
There's a reason for that.
Yep.
I'm surprised they haven't had a Gatorade car.
You get a Fruit of the Loom car.
No, it's Haynes, wasn't it? Was it
Oh,
Haynes?
yeah, it was Haynes. One of those.
There was one. I remember there was these commercials of Michael Jordan where he's like on a commercial airline. Like, when the heck was the last time Michael Jordan rode on a commercial airplane? Get out of here! Like, it's a
He
terrible
flies
commercial.
private. Come on.
Like, he owns a fleet of planes. It's not just flying private. Um, off the court, Jordan earned an estimated $3.8 billion pre-tax over his career from the likes of McDonald's, Nike, and Gatorade.
To me, that seems low.
Well, I mean, they're guessing here. Well, that's interesting. In 2022, I mean, that has to have changed. But in 2022, it says that Chevrolet is one of his brands. I mean, his cars are Toyotas. Like, oh yeah, you remember Ballpark Franks?
Yep.
I saw Michael Jordan play in person one time when I was a kid. It was so long ago, he still had hair.
I have not actually.
Well, maybe he didn't have hair at that point. Yeah, we went to my dad. I think I was in like first or second grade, and my dad made a deal that if I did good with a report, my report card, that he would find a way to get me tickets to see the Pacers and the Bulls play in Indianapolis. And he ended up buying the tickets from a scalper. And the ticket, we were sitting in the old Market Square Arena in Indianapolis, which was a great venue, by the way. It was a small venue, but it was a great venue. Well, let's watch hockey and basketball. And I remember sitting kind of high up in the upper deck there. And I think that I still have the ticket stub somewhere, but the ticket price was like $10.
Can't buy
And
those anymore.
yeah, my dad bought it from a scalper, so I think he paid like I think he said he paid like $40 for it each ticket. But yeah, this is like 1991 or something like that. I can't remember. It was either right after they won their first championship or right before. I can't tell you for sure.
Yeah, it's wild. $40 would be a cheap ticket now.
Yeah. There was a few years ago I was traveling and I was in Oklahoma City. Or I was in Oklahoma and I was flying back to Oklahoma City and when I travel and I end up in these small places, I go back and stay near the airport the night before and take a morning flight out the next morning is, my usual travel strategy. And um, the night before, I always try to time my visits if the team's in town. And so the Thunder were home. They were playing the Cleveland Cavaliers. And this was right after LeBron and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, they won their championship. So this was the following year from that. And it was a nationally televised game on ESPN, no, TNT, because Reggie Miller was there. I saw Reggie Miller. And the tickets dropped in price because they were doing that load management crap. And they said that they were going on a back-to-back. So Kyrie, LeBron, and Kevin Love were all going to sit the game out. And the NBA said, this is a nationally televised game. No way you're doing that. But we didn't know this. We didn't know this going into the game. Like I ended up getting a ticket like 10 rows off the floor for like $80, like a single ticket for like $80, 10 rows off the floor. And this is like Russell Westbrook was still there and was still good. And these it was not like it was after the championship year, or they went to the championship and didn't win. After Durant had already moved on. So I'm sitting 10 rows off the floor, $80, warm-up start. And all of a sudden, here comes LeBron James and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love out on the floor in their warm-ups. I'm like, are they going to play?
They're playing.
They are playing. And apparently the NBA is like, no, you are not sitting them out on a nationally televised game. And they played. So I'm sitting, yeah. I paid $80, sat 10 rows off the floor and watched LeBron play in person. Still prime LeBron. I mean, LeBron, we're the same age.
Yeah, which is wild to think.
But I have more hair.
Yes.
Yes, we are the same age as Lewis Hamilton and LeBron James.
The whole load management thing is crazy. You got hockey players that'll go out and play back-to-backs and actually get like checked into the boards and open ice hit. And that's hockey.
In the Stanley Cup Finals in 2001, you had Peter Forsberg, who had this like spleen removed, and like the next day he's like, I want to play, it's the Cup Finals. Like, you're not playing. Like, no, just there's either spleen or appendix.
See, basketball players get carried off the floor if they have a calf cramp and get a ice skate to the face or a puck or stick. They'll go in and get 5 stitches or 20 stitches and he's back on the ice later that period.
There was Stanley Cup playoffs in 2010, I think, where Duncan Keith from the Blackhawks took a puck to the face and got like 8 teeth knocked out of his mouth. And the teams have a dentist on staff, of course, because it's hockey. And
Yeah,
they just said like numb my mouth and get me back out there. And so they just like numbed his mouth and just said, all right. They
they're
said they
those
said
athletes are a different breed.
he missed like 15 total minutes. Like it was like 6 minutes of game time, and he missed 15 total minutes from the point he took the puck to the teeth and when he was back out there playing again.
Yeah, you don't see
Uh,
that in NBA.
no. Well, there's the infamous Paul Pierce where he was faked the injury and had the wheelchair take him off. And then he came running back out of the tunnel like 10 minutes later. And we find out years later it was because he crapped his pants. He didn't want anybody to see him. So he faked the injury so he could sit and be rolled off. And then he changed his pants and came back. And he admitted it too. I'm pretty sure he's admitted that's what happened.
Oh,
Um,
that's why I like hockey. I don't watch much NBA anymore.
I mean, you do that in the NHL, no one's going to notice. So much padding and everything. No one's going to it's going to
I'm
see
sure
it.
some have.
Anyway, yeah, so the top eight, we have 3 out of 400 cars. You have Christopher Bell. You have Joey Logano now. Do you have Denny Hamlin? And who am I missing?
Tyler Reddick.
Tyler Reddick, of course. Yeah, and he was
He
push,
is
pushing it to the last second there.
yeah. He's trying to catch that ground Logano, which is why Logano got the transfer when Bowman got disqualified. I'm gonna laugh if Bowman goes out and wins the next race now.
I'm going to laugh if Logano wins a championship because Mr. Even Year is going to do it 3 times now.
So now's gonna be fun to see how we hold up on our final four predictions.
Do you have a copy of that handy? Because I don't. I don't.
I do if I can find it here
All right,
real
we have
quick.
to update this.
All right, so we both have Kyle Larson.
Yeah,
He's
that's
still
kind of a
eligible.
given. Yeah. Oh,
Then
wait. Was this the preseason predictions or was this the start of the playoff prediction? Because I think
this was all the way back into, did we formally give our
we did on
like
the show, but we never published anything. There's an episode back in February where we gave our predictions, but we never wrote it down anywhere. Well, I think you did actually, but
I have the
and,
one from the beginning of the year.
yeah, and then I think we amended it.
Pre-Daytona.
Or you know what? I take it back because I think you had all 4 of my predictions made the playoffs, and I think you had 3 out of 4. Didn't you have Bush and
Yeah, I had Bush figuring he was gonna be able to make the run. He almost
mm,
made it.
close?
So final four predictions. We
Oh,
both
we
had
got to
Kyle
talk about that.
Larson. You had Denny Hamlin where I had Kyle Busch.
Yep.
We got Joey Logano, and my next line's
Even
Chase Elliott.
even year.
Then you got William Byron, and I had Christopher Bell.
I think those are all pretty reasonable.
And it's funny, we have what, six of the eight.
I I'm really coming around on Logano. Like I didn't like him when he was younger, but like I've not directly interacted with him, but I've been in close proximity with him in the garage area at Phoenix Raceway, and he's a true like man of the people, a man of the fans, and make sure that he signs for people and photos, and he makes sure that he takes care of people. And he made a comment a long time ago about how like years later or years ago he went into an event and went to get a driver's autograph and the driver just kind of blew him off, and he's like, I'm never going to do that. If I get famous enough that people want my autograph, I will never do that to anybody. And he's kind of becoming the elder statesman as well. Granted, like he's only 32 or something like that.
He's been around forever
He's been
too.
around for, well, I mean, he came in as this 18-year-old phenom. Like, so he's been around forever. He's only in his like early 30s, but uh they said this is Joey Logano's best recovery since his hairline.
So we'll see how it holds and who gets through into
I,
the final four.
okay, he's 30. Oh yeah, that's right. We have the same birthday. Joey Logano and I have the same birthday. I knew there was a reason I liked him.
Another
Uh,
Penske driver.
Do I need to pledge my allegiance to Joey Logano here?
Oh man,
Do I?
I don't know. I'm Hendrick, so
I forgot him and I share the same birthday. He's 5 years younger.
I mean, if anything, I'm set to a car.
Yeah.
I got the 24.
I don't think I have any. I do not have any Logano diecast that I no, I don't. How do I not have a Logano? Oh,
I
yes,
thought
I
you,
what
yeah,
the
you
heck
do.
am I talking about? I got it right here. His marketing guy, he was giving these out to the kids at the racetrack, and he gave one to my one kid who I was taking to the bathroom. Like, hey, I got a second kid over there. And I pointed, and he's like, oh, here you go. And I took it over to my kid, but another one of the Penske marketing people was already over there giving my other kid a car. So I'm like, okay, well, I got a
I got it.
Logano diecast, but it's the Hunt Brothers. Yeah, I just pulled up his website and I saw Hunt Brothers. I'm like, wait, I have that car.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure you got one of those.
Oh man.
And Formula One is gonna Formula One this weekend. They're at Coda. So it'll be fun to see how that goes.
Don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. to watch that. I love the I love the Europeans that complain anytime the Formula One's that's too late.
No, get over it.
Like, you know what? It's our sport. Yeah.
And IndyCar silly season is still happening. HMD announced a new next driver.
Holly Deegan.
Yeah, Deegan, see if she runs better than Xfinity.
I mean, that was rumored to be
Yeah, we had, I think, mentioned that on the show even a
yeah,
couple months ago.
that was rumored, but it was just the fact that that became a rumor was pretty wild.
So we'll see how that goes.
Oh man. So let's see here. We've got oh yeah, so Indy Racing World Series is done for the year.
Yep.
And what I think I finished seventh. I missed two races, but still finished seventh. And uh, yeah, I mean, you finished fourth. Neither of us won a race. How many podiums did you have?
I'd have to go back. I only had a couple.
I had only one that I recall. Yeah, I had
It
the
was a struggle of a season.
I had the Pocono. Well, you had the issues at Pocono with your monitor.
Yeah, my monitor dumped out. Nashville, my monitor dumped out. I think what 4 or 5 tracks I sped on pit road.
I got a black flag at the Indy race tonight. I wrecked. There's nobody around, and iRacing needs to fix how they do this. So I got a black flag for entering closed pits after I wrecked because the caution was out, which was an end of the line penalty. But then I got a second penalty for passing under yellow. And I don't know who I passed under yellow. I'm pretty confident I didn't pass anybody under yellow.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at it.
But it's just like what? Like I have to sit and wait for this guy to get moving again? Like that's just
Yeah, there were a couple things in the race that didn't make sense. Like it's supposed to put lap cars to the back, but it didn't
well,
reorder a couple
here
times as it should have.
there was one thing about the late race. There were two late race cautions, and in the last one, it did shuffle to the end of the line of the lead cars that were up there. The previous time it didn't, but I don't think there were lead cars up there at the time when it was time to line up and go.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what I was going there. We'll have a couple tweaks to the way Indy Racing World Series
Yeah,
works that we'll be announcing in the coming months here before season 5 kicks off.
good turnout tonight, though. Really good
Yeah, it was
turnout.
a lot of fun. Our top three were all one-off racers
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. Josh Chinsky's kind of a
this
he's,
season.
yeah, he's a what's the term? Not a hustler, but
He's in the Road to Pro right now.
yeah, like he's going to road to pro. He's much better than we are. much better than we probably ever will be, but
Yeah, at least in terms of this season. It was fun to get a lot of people out, some new faces, and it was fun.
yeah, old friends come back. We had some people pop in as one-offs, and we got Wednesday Night Dash. We got a couple weeks to go in that, and uh
Yeah, I was looking forward to Kentucky, then I realized I won't make it.
oh, that's right, you're
But
not going to be there. You're leaving me
Chicagoland
hanging.
and Auto Club those will be fun. I'm looking forward to those races. Finish out the year.
Yeah, I have to go into the office on that Wednesday of Auto Club, and I just got to make sure that I'm home in time because I cannot miss the finale. I will be so upset at myself if I miss the finale.
One thing kind of teased it towards the end of the broadcast for Indy Racing World Series. Got a couple things to put in place. We got some time before it kicks off, but we're looking at maybe a little mini series with the SRX cars. Just a little three race.
Have you bought the SRX car yet?
No, not yet.
Better get moving on that. It's a doozy.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. That'll be fun.
But they've
And
added when they first added the SRX, I don't think it gets a lot of use in the officials. Um, but when they first started, like they're all like short tracks and dirt tracks, which is more or less what SRX added. But now, like you look at the fixed configs, and it's like Charlotte, Bristol. I want to say they have like Daytona in there.
yeah, no.
Could you imagine having Daytona?
Yeah, I think I was looking at a couple short tracks and like a Dover, something a little wild. Then we got our fun race coming up here in a few weeks as well.
Yep. A fun race.
The mini stocks, legends, and the what modifieds.
The psychotic fun race. All right. Well,
So we'll keep posted on IndyCar's silly season. We'll stay up to date here with what's going on with NASCAR. I'm sure there's gonna be controversy again this weekend.
we got some Coda. We got some Las Vegas this week. It's a busy weekend of racing, and it's a sprint race weekend. So we got a sprint race on Friday afternoon.
Yeah, gonna be a lot of fun.
The sprint race starts when I have to go pick up my kids at school, so I might have be walking with my headphones in.
Yeah, I need to set some races to record so I can watch them when I get back.
I'll do the one earbud in opposite side of walking with my wife. So like, yeah,
Mhm.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I should probably take part in wedding stuff and not say I got a race to
And
watch. What are you doing? Get out of here.
here's an interesting fact I learned this week. Uh, we don't talk politics on the show because that's not like for us, but surprising big Formula One fan is Kamala Harris.
Really?
Yeah, she said her and her husband love watching Formula One. Did not expect that, but hey, cool. It's good for the sport when you have the vice president of the United States and a candidate for president watching Formula One.
Yeah, not too bad there.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, well, I mean, former President Trump went to the Miami race, so it's like he's been there. So it's
That's
yeah,
annoying just to tracks
racing.
everybody.
Racing brings all kinds of people together. It's yeah, you go to the racetrack and you see some interesting things out there and some interesting shirts that Never a dull moment, but
No, especially at the Indy 500. There's some fun shirts out about there.
oh, and well, NASCAR is pretty wild too, especially when you go by the RV area.
Oh yeah.
I had some questions for my kids, like, what does that mean? Like, you
Nah,
know
don't worry
what?
about
Well,
it.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Well, anyway, yeah, kind of a short show this week, but we got a tight schedule and Eric's traveling, so we wanted to get this out of the way, make sure we delivered a show. So you're probably gonna look like, wow, short show. It's only
Short
like
by our standards.
35, 40 minutes. But when we started this, we were like, yeah, let's get this done in like, 10, 15 minutes tops. And then it blew up and turned into like 50 minutes to an hour. And then we started, let's do a second show where we actually go like 10 minutes tops, which we haven't recorded because just schedules have not allowed it. And
Schedules and we're
honestly,
looking at some things.
and two, yeah, we're probably going to shift how that weekend recap works a little bit because it's kind of cannibalizing on our views and listens of the regular show. Because with the way the schedule happens, we put the show out on Friday. We have a new show on Monday, so it doesn't really give a chance for the full show to cycle through. So we're gonna have, we've got some rework we're talking about. We got a lot to do in the
It's
our
going to be a busy
off
off
season.
season.
It's gonna be a busy off season. I got some redesigned some of the overlays for our leagues this off season to try to, we're using a pretty minimally modified template right now. And we want to customize it a little bit more. It's not great for our endurance series. It does some weird things with when you split it into classes and oh, what to do there. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap early today. And yeah.
Right,
So
thanks for
next
tuning in. We got after this airs, we'll have two more races left in the Wednesday night dash season
in the fun race.
and the fun race. Maybe mini series. Indy Racing is now on a break. Be sure to check out our other shenanigans and wild crashes on social media.
And come on into our Discord too. We have we do some random off-season stuff where we'll just like, hey, anybody wanna do a hosted race tonight of something obscure? Maybe we try some dirt racing, do some like I kind of want to try those dirt trucks, the free one they give you.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Do the dirt truck on that, what's that, Wild West?
Yeah, Wild Horse. I like that one.
Yeah, that one they give you for free now, which that track doesn't exist in real life anymore. It's closed.
Hey, yeah,
I,
feel free to come and join the Discord.
yeah, so
Sometimes it's late notice, like the hour before. We
hey, if
try to at
anybody's
least give you a
around,
day.
we try to plan, but other times people come through. Hey, you want to practice for this? You want to train for this? You want to do some, get ready for Daytona 24? We got endurance stuff. We're gonna have to revamp that too. We put out a poll to the drivers of when would you like to do the endurance series? Because Saturday morning doesn't seem to work for people, which surprises me a little bit, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we're doing some stuff and we'll have some new things coming in the new year.
Again, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe on Spotify.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, be sure to give us a follow on Spotify. That way you can hear us ramble on and on and on about nonsense.
Not as much tonight, though.
No, not at all. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next time. Take care.